The war against Boko Haram has raged on since 2009. Leaving in its wake thousands of widows, orphans and destitute, and in almost a decade of the mayhem unleashed by the insurgents in Nigeria's northeast. Millions have been displaced. For those lucky to be alive, most trekked days and traveled tediously to find a safe place. Yola houses 4 major IDP camps, and most of the IDPs have come from across many of the affected states to settle here. From Isge, Gwodza, Madagali, Mubi, Monguno, and other terror-ravaged communities, they are here, united by their stories of pain. 30-year-old Asana sold bean cakes, popularly known as kose, in her native town of Isge, close to Gwodza, in Borno State, before the attacks. The mother of 8 remembers a life of happiness before Boko Haram shattered her peace. Asana was pregnant with her 8th child when Boko Haram invaded her village. She and her family trekked miles, spending days in bushes as they sought safety. That was until her husband was captured, having been identified as an hunter. She's not seen him since and doesn't know what became of him. It's been 2 years and she now lives in the IDP camp in Damarie, learning to cope with being a mother and father to 8 children.
We were just living peacefully in our community, and the next thing, we saw fleets of aircraft hovering and we started running for our lives. Along the bush paths, we met with Boko Haram insurgents. I lost my husband. We were together with him in the Boko Haram camp, where we spent 15 days. Someone identified him as an hunter, then they captured him and took him away. Since then, I have heard no news. I don't know if he is dead or alive.
When I asked Asana to make a wish for tomorrow, she says she only wishes she can get enough to feed her children.
Most importantly, I wish for food. Taking care of these children is not easy. I only wish I can get food to feed them.
A report by the International Rescue Committee says more displaced persons are living in host communities in Yola than those living in the IDP camps. 16-year-old Naomi John is one of them. She recalls with pain her family's escape from Madagali and the agony of witnessing the death of her brother.
I have seen Boko Haram with my eyes because the first time they come to our village, it is around 7 o'clock. I'm just fetching water within our local village that we are. They now started shooting gun. They now say, Allahu Akbar, we are doing the work of God. That's how the thing started. Because he tell him that he must turn to Muslim. He now said that he can't turn to Muslim because he can't change his religion at this time. At this age, what will he start? Since he don't know how to do Salah, how will he start? He now hide somewhere else. But the Boko Haram have somewhere he hide. That's how they come and slaughter my brother.
She has resolved to move on. Naomi joined the non-formal learning center of the IRC. Now a tailor, she is determined to be the best fashion designer in Nigeria.
Yes, I can sew very well. Thank God for I have learned so because it have helped me in my life. Wherever I go, I can help myself with this sewing.
A constant and ugly truth about the insurgency is that most of the women and girls captured by Boko Haram fighters were used as sex slaves. When Awa Suleiman was captured in Madagali village in 2015, the then 14-year-old endured the worst of bombing raids, hunger and disease alongside her captors. It was when she managed to escape that another sad fact confronted her. She was pregnant with twins. Her daughters Adiza and Miriam, born to a Boko Haram fighter, represent a bitter reminder of what she would rather forget.
I'm a victim of Boko Haram. We were taken from our villages and abused by the insurgents. I got pregnant and ran away from Madagali, found my way to Mubi, then to Yola.
Awa now attends the Adolescent Girls Learning Center here in Yola, and she has big dreams.
In spite of all my travails, I am hopeful that one day I'll be a doctor.
Despite the stories of pains and woes that they share, these internally displaced persons have a quiet resolve to be better. They are determined to ensure that Boko Haram doesn't have the last say over their existence. Not many Nigerians have been actively engaged in volunteering to help the IDPs. So it was a pleasant encounter seeing Femi Kuti, who was visiting the camps. He is touched by these victims' resolve to hope against hope.
Imagine giving them the opportunity. Maybe one or two of them will become great musicians. But if you don't provide the facilities for them, then they become Boko Haram, they become thugs, they become robbers, they become envious of anybody that is wealthy. They become the terror of society.
Not enough attention has been given to victims of terror attacks in Nigeria's northeast. Much of what is seen is by international aid organizations. Sarah Indukumana and volunteers of the International Rescue Committee believe more attention should be given to these victims.
And I think no one wants to live, depending upon others and having to hold a handout to get any sort of assistance. So I think they're just very tired and they want to stand on their own 2 feet again. But they need a bit more support to be able to do that.
They have the right to say that they want to become doctors, lawyers, or whatsoever you think that is very good for them and for the country as a whole. So it's like with them having that hope, I think it is really good. And that is what we are really working towards. We don't want them to lose hope. We don't want them to think that everything is lost.
As the war against terror rages, one would only hope that the Nigerian government builds structures that will make the dream of every one of these internally displaced persons a reality. Jokeli Jadu, TVC News, Yola.